Welcome to JJ the Wedding Planner Podcast, the podcast for all the lovebirds who are young or young at heart, the non-traditionalists who might like some traditions, los que hablan español e inglés, or maybe more like Spanglish, where the one rule is that we are exclusively inclusive. I'm JJ, and after almost 8 years in the wedding industry, serving couples of all backgrounds, I realized that there wasn't a central place where I can send them to hear from all the amazing POC professionals that I had met. So, aquí estamos para servirles. After each episode, you will walk away feeling empowered to take on the bits of planning that lead up to your big day, while keeping La Tia lovingly off your back. Bienvenidos! All right. Welcome to episode 9. I am so excited for today. We've got a lot of really great information for you. Today is going to be really important, and I'm pretty sure I say that for every episode, but I extra mean it for today. We are picking your wedding date, which, yes, you are correct. It is a big deal. So get ready to take some notes, do a little bit of thinking and brainstorming with your partner, and let's pick your wedding date. We're finally moving into this new theme of starting your planning. Let's get going on your planning and let's get going. Okay, si ya tienen sus lápices, let's get started. So you want to pick your wedding date. Maybe you just got engaged. Maybe you've been engaged for a while, but due to #COVID, you haven't been able to actually move forward. Well, here we go. There are a few things that I want you to think about as you're picking your date. Before we go anywhere, just a little caveat. If you're looking at 2021, I'm just going to say straight out, it's going to be a packed year. 2020 was actually supposed to be a super busy wedding year. It was already set out to be my personal busiest year in business because of the date 2020. There's a lot of dates that people really wanted with that. And it was really special because of, numbers, and it looks pretty and numerology and all that good stuff. But as we know, a lot of weddings have had to be postponed to next year, which has caused next year to just get doubly as packed. Every year, there are so many weddings that happen throughout the country, throughout the world, and it's just going to be a little tough for this year. So if you are wanting to pick a 2021 date, I'm not saying don't do it. I am saying get ready and do it quickly. Start booking your venue because it's just going to get really tough here. A couple things to think about as you're getting ready. You can have 3 options or 3 routes that you are going to take. So either you know what venue, what location, what city you want your wedding to be at, and you're open to the date. That's option 1. Option 2, you actually want a specific date for a reason and you're open to location. Or option 3, you are open to a general season. Maybe you really want a spring wedding or a winter wedding and you're open to the location. So these are 3 potential ways that you might go. So first of all, decide or try and figure out with your partner which one of these you fall into, because your planning is going to look a little different depending on which one you are. Again, option A is you have a special location that you definitely want to get married at. Maybe it's a venue you really, really want to use. Maybe it's a church that you or your partner grew up in. Whatever special location it might be, maybe that is important to you. So that's option A, special location, but you're open to the date. That's A. B is the reverse of that, is you have a special date that you want. Either it's a special anniversary, maybe it's one of your parents' wedding anniversary, maybe you really want to get married on a specific holiday like Valentine's Day or Halloween or New Year's, but you're open to the location. That's B, specific date, open to location. Or C, general season. So maybe you're really into a spring wedding because of all the blooming flowers, or maybe you want a snowy winter wedding and you're open to the location. So take a moment, take a pause right here and pick A, B, or C with your partner. Okay, now that you have picked if you are A, B, or C with your partner, this is how you move forward with each. So let's just start at the top. A, if you have a special location, like I said, maybe it's a venue that you have visited before that you just fell in love with, or you really want to have a specific church that maybe one of you grew up with or you had a special experience at, and you're open to the date, then the first thing you want to do is get in contact with that venue. Like I said at the very beginning of this, 2021 is already getting booked up, and it's starting to book out. So if that is the case, go now. Call them now. Get in touch. I know a lot of places aren't doing in person right away. Maybe that's something you have to make an appointment for, but you want to get in contact with them and first of all, ask them what they even have available. So if you're open to the date, but really want a specific location, then do that. Hit them up right away. Make sure that you tell them that you want it for 2021, or if you actually are wanting to do it a little bit further out, and again, you're open to the date, but you really want it and you're willing to wait a year for it, let them know that, because I'm sure most places are getting ready to start, if they haven't already, they're getting ready to book into 2022. So be clear with them that you're open to the date, but you really want that spot. If you fall under the B category, where you have a specific date that you want, but you're a little bit more open to the location, then this is going to look a little different. So first of all, figure out what that special date is. Again, maybe it's your dating anniversary. Maybe it's the anniversary of when you first met. Maybe it's the anniversary of one of your parents. I've seen that happen before. Or maybe it's a special holiday. I know some people think that holiday weddings like Valentine's Day or New Year's Eve are cliche, but I think, hey, if it floats your boat, then go with it. Who cares what anyone else thinks? If that day, that holiday is special to you for whatever reason, that's all you need. All you need is your own reasoning of why you want to do it, why it's important to you. I am also going to say, however, if what's important to you is a holiday and it's one that happens to get booked up more, like Valentine's Day, then you're going to want to jump on that pretty quickly. So because any venue, regardless of where it is, it's probably pretty booked. So if you're open to location, that's great because you have more options. You're not set on just one place, but I'm just going to keep running here with Valentine's Day since we started on it. If you're wanting, for example, Valentine's Day, 2021 might be a little too tight, but if you're going for 2022, then you already have a good over a year time to plan everything. So you're not feeling so stressed out, but you have a date. So that's great. Pick whatever date works for you and then start doing your research. So from there, you can start figuring out, okay, this is the date that we want. So let's say it's in the winter time, you're probably going to want something that's indoors because it's gonna be freezing out. And you probably don't want your guests to catch hypothermia. So sometimes if you have the date ahead, it helps figure out what type of location you might want to be at because it helps the season. So if you're wanting a summer date, maybe you want to get married on the first day of summer. Then okay, we can do an outdoor venue if you wanted. You have those options and it helps figure out the type of location you might want if you already have your date. So that is for option B. Now, if you fall into the option C category, which is you're open to a general season and you're open to location, meaning you're not necessarily super tied down to a date or specific location that you want yet, you really have all the freedom in the world here, which is great because you can do anything at any time, but maybe this might make you feel a little bit more overwhelmed. So in that case, I always say pick a general season or theme because that can help everything out. So going back to if you were wanting a winter wedding, right? That's a general season and it doesn't have to be on any specific date. Maybe the one thing you do want is a snowy wedding, somewhere that you can take beautiful pictures in the snow. Then you can do that by knowing what general season you want. And if you're wanting a general theme like a winter wonderland wedding or that snowy kind of feel, then that can actually also help you figure out your location. Maybe you want it on a big ranch. Maybe you want it on at a little like a cabin kind of feel. There's a lot of things that can help you tie down the date and the location. So if you are open to the date and location, but you have a general feel, another thing to kind of look into is our holidays. So if you're not wanting it to be on a holiday, but again, sticking with this winter idea, but you know that there are holidays nearby, like Christmas is coming up or New Year's is coming up, and you don't want it to be around that, or you don't want the date to be affected with family possibly traveling or taking vacations. And that's something you definitely want to look at, because it can change who gets to come to your wedding. And if that's important to you, if you want to make sure that it's at a time that you know your family can travel, then that's one thing to look into. So again, even if you are completely open and want all of the possibilities, it's good to start having a general season or general theme so that you don't feel so overwhelmed by possibilities. Having that freedom is great until you feel paralyzed because you don't know where or how to move forward. So if you fall into that C category where you don't have specific dates or specific location, again, take some time with your partner and start thinking about themes that you might want. And that can help bring down or get you closer to a potential date or potential venue. And then once you pick one of those, then you can move into what we talked about with A and B, and then you get to picking your wedding date. Okay, so I know that was a lot of information in a very short amount of time, so you're gonna want to go back, listen to the episode again. Maybe you'll need to hear it a couple of times. Go over this with your partner and take some time. Like I said at the very beginning, this is one of the most important things you decide about your wedding, your date and or location. And so you really want to take some time with it and be happy about whatever it is that you pick. Again, maybe it's a special date, maybe that's already important to you. Maybe it's a venue that helps you decide your date. Maybe it's anything. Maybe it's, you don't have a specific thing yet, and you end up coming to a conclusion of something you wouldn't even have expected. That's okay. That's the beauty of being able to plan your wedding, is that it's yours. It's between you and your partner, and you can do whatever the heck you want. Yes, you may or may not get some compliments or some unsolicited opinions from people, but that doesn't matter. Truly, in the end, what's important is that the date works for you. After this whole day is done, the date is going to be special, whether you had already picked it before you were engaged or it just happened to fall on a certain day. The date is going to be with you forever. So I want you to really understand that this is a big step, a big decision. So take some time and go over this with your partner. Also, feel free to, leave me a message. Find us on Instagram if you have more questions about what it is like to pick your date. If you're struggling with this a little more and you want some more help, please come and let us know, and we would love to be able to give you some more information. And I hope this was helpful. So that's it for today, and I'll see you all soon. Okay, friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We can be BFFs on Facebook or Insta at JJ the Wedding Planner. Or if you're actually looking for information on wedding planning or coordination services, you can head over to our website, jjtheweddingplanner.com. And please don't forget to leave us a review on today's episode. Let us know what you thought. Was this helpful? And the more 5-star reviews that we get, the better chance we have at reaching more people with this information. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you soon. Los quiero. Adios.